Indonesia and Germany now is reaching 5.6 million euros in 2011 compared to 2010 with a volume of 4.9 billion euros. Advances were also made in the investment sector. In 2012, Germany was the third largest investor in Indonesia after the Netherlands and the United Kingdom, with a total volume of 158 million US dollar with 61 projects compared to 157 million US dollar in 2010 with 51 projects. I would like, however, now to focus my attention to the forays made into the field of education. Up to date, as been mentioned by Pak Sapta just now, more than 25,000 Indonesians, and several of them were also UNPAD alumni, finished their education in Germany. Meanwhile, cooperation between the two countries in the field of education are carried on based on the existing bilateral agreements, technical cooperations, exchange of information, joint projects, partner and sister schools, as well as scholarships. In 2011, an agreement for a scholarship program for a doctoral degree, which will enable 5,000 Indonesian students to study at a number of German universities in a debt swap scheme, was signed by both governments. And in the first year of this program of 2012, approximately 240 candidates for doctoral degree from Indonesia are slated to travel to Germany on a scholarship worth approximately 8.3 million euros. The second phase of the debt swap scheme on education will begin in 2013 next year, which comprise of three components: the continuation of the scholarship program, strengthening of research capabilities of the Indonesian universities through exchange of professors, and the development of laboratories in several universities in Indonesia. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the Indonesian-German bilateral relation has entered into 60 years now. We will move on from friendship to partnership. It is more than ever important that all levels of society in Indonesia make maximum use of these developments and exploit the knowledge acquired in Germany for the benefit of the development of Indonesia. I am very proud that UNPAD has produced a number of able alumni successfully engaged as leading actors in this development process, acting as a conduit in enhancing Indonesian-German cooperations. In this respect, I would like to mention Pak Dr. Sapta Nirwandar, Vice Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy. I myself am also privileged to count myself to this honorable roll call. I sincerely hope that this can be maintained and further strengthened in the future by other alumni members of UNPAD. This is an excellent opportunity, and therefore I take the liberty to invite all of you, in particular the alumni of UNPAD, to think about how we could further enhance and upgrade the cooperations, especially with Germany, not only in the field of education, but in many other areas of cooperations, which is possible in the future. Your suggestions, inputs, and ideas will be very much valuable for both Germany and Indonesia to strengthen more the partnership between both countries. Finally, let me now express once again my fervent hope that today's gathering can be remembered as a key event in developing the vision for the future Indonesian-German partnership that encompasses all levels of society, including this very special gathering. I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to speak before all of you, and I wish you all a fruitful and successful seminar on democracy. And thank you once again. Vielen Dank for the participation and the organization of this important event by UNPAD alumni. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bapak Edi. Now it's time to go to our main agenda, the international seminar entitled The Development of Democracy in Indonesia and Germany. And together with us, please welcome Professor Ben Haddam, an Indonesia historian from Passau University, and also Bapak Sugeng Saryadi, Chairman of Sugeng Saryadi Syndicate. So I would like to invite Mr. Atip Latiful Hayat, PhD, to chair the session. Please.
Sit down. Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore, good afternoon. Yang mulia Duta Besar Republik Indonesia untuk Jerman, Bapak Dr. Edi Pratomo. Kami persilakan Pak Sugeng untuk menilai sini. Yang terhormat Ketua IKA Alumni Universitas Pajajaran, Profesor Ben Haddam from Passau University, Pak Sugeng Saryadi, Chairman Sugeng Saryadi Syndicated. Respected guests, colleagues and friends, today we will discuss the bilateral relations between Indonesia and Germany, which has been running for about 60 years. And the special topic for today's discussion is the developments of democracy in Indonesia and Germany. This topic is specifically dedicated on the occasions and to welcome the forthcoming visit of Chancellor of Federal Republic of Germany, Her Excellency Dr. Angela Merkel, on 11th of July this year. This topic is very interesting, especially in terms of bilateral relation between two countries, because it can be said that there were no significant obstacles in maintaining that relationship between Indonesia and Germany. And in the last decade, bilateral relations have been even developed quite encouraging. In the field of politics, legal and security, defense, economic and trade, educations, and also people-to-people contacts. I would like to highlight some short facts, although facts in detail has been described by Yang Mulia Pak Edi Pratomo. In the field of economic and trade, for example, which is the focus of cooperation between Indonesia and Germany, Indonesia and German trade statistics continue to rise sharply. The volume of trade between the two countries in 2011 recorded 5 billion euros. This is a significant increase compared to 2010, which only reached 4.6 billion euros. When one of the most interesting in these relations for this 60 years interaction is not without challenge and obstacles. Hard work and mutual understanding should still continue to be pursued by both Indonesia and Germany to maximize the potential cooperation and partnership. The financial crisis in the Eurozone, the investment climate in Indonesia, issues about Papua, the absence of the parliamentarian group on Indonesia in the German parliament, the absence of cooperation on mutual legal assistance is a number of challenges and homework that's still to be resolved. Now, I'd like to invite Professor Ben Haddam to explain the developments of democracy in Germany and then Indonesia, and I would like to ask you to connect it with the reflections of better relations between Indonesia within 60 years. Professor Benaram, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished audience, dear Vice Minister, dear Ambassador, I would first of all like to thank you very much for inviting me to come here at this occasion of 60 years of German-Indonesian relations. It is really a great honor for anybody to be invited to come to such an occasion, in particular for somebody like me who is already advanced in age. And to do this on short notice, that was for me a real challenge, and that I accepted it. That is because I simply like or love Indonesia, and I would be happy if out of this conference and out of the coming of the visit of Chancellor Merkel next week, the relations between our two nations become better, could be improved even more. Our ambassador, Edi Pratomo, is doing his utmost in Germany to bring this about, and you can be really proud that he is also from Pajajaran University. Before I come to the topic that was chosen because we knew this will bring about a heated discussion, at least I want to say a few words about the facts of the German-Indonesian cultural or cooperation in the last 60 years. Is this wrong? Do I have to? Yeah. This is better. This is better. So I want to present a few facts of Indonesian cooperation in the field of culture and education first. The cultural relations between Indonesia and Germany go far back into the 16th century, when the first German travelers were visiting your country in the service of the Portuguese first, and later in the service of the Dutch. Our former ambassador here in Jakarta, Mr. Seeman, has published a few years ago a book, Indonesien in der deutschen Geisteswelt, that means Indonesia in the relations of literature, of poets, of philosophers, of scientists, and the book covers all the subjects that I think it is not necessary to repeat the various persons here. Among them are Franz Junghun. He was called the Humboldt of Java. He also wrote an interesting book on Sumatra. And among them is even a man like Goethe, who was so fascinated when he read about details about Indonesia that he joined the Bataviasche Genootschap from the Netherlands in the late 18th century. And there are many other writers like Schiller, Fontane, Hesse, and painters such as Walter Spies and Raden Saleh. They all contributed to a better cultural understanding between Indonesia and Germany. And this work is continued nowadays by the Goethe Institute in Jakarta, Bandung, and Surabaya, and by Stiftungen, establishments, and foundations like the Friedrich Naumann Stiftung, whose local head is here, and I'm very happy that we have another German among us. And I think that is already enough to say about the background of culture, 500 years of cultural relations in practically all fields, in literature, in philosophy, and in the art. Now a few words about the German-Indonesian scientific cooperation. The scientific studies on Indonesia did start only very, very late, although we had early visitors already writing this or that book. But all of you perhaps know the name of Adolf Bastian. Bastian, he was an ethnologist in Berlin and wrote a 5-volume book, 1884 to 94, on Indonesian or the islands of the Malay archipelago. This was the first time that in German language the word Indonesia was used, and it was also the first time that it was discussed in the scientific world. It was not his invention. Indonesia was invented by a British ethnologist named James Logan, but he was the one who made it known throughout the world, and it was in particular of great use and value for Indonesian students studying in the Netherlands, because they had knew a word for their own identity. They didn't call their union any longer Indische Vereniging, but they called it